Long ago, I was a harvester for a cult. One night, the people we took weren't what they seemed. Long ago, I was a harvester for a cult. One night, the people we took weren't what they seemed. My task was always relatively simple. Scout the isolated roads provided by Mother and Father, M and F. Set the bait, sedate, and abduct. Typically, I would use roadkill, a dead kangaroo or a dog, or really anything big enough to draw attention. Sometimes I would gore it up a bit to make it more enticing. It usually worked fine. The process of reprogramming back at home base was typically long and always barbaric. M and F were always insistent on using the limits of the subject's capacity to endure pain as their means of indoctrination, and it worked. People break a lot easier than you'd think when they're isolated in unknown territory and pushed to their limits. We were based high and deep in the hills, far enough from suburbs that nobody would know they're gone or even where they'd go missing, but close enough that we got people coming through. Granted, it wasn't very frequent, but that's how we liked it. No need to build our numbers up too fast and raise any red flags to the area we were in. I spent many of my working nights just sitting and waiting, chatting to my brother and hoping we get some action. This night in particular was warm and still. The roadkill we had was a fully grown kangaroo we found that had been presumably hit by a car a little further towards the nearest town. It was perfect bait. All we needed was for them to stop and get out for about a minute, and we'd have them. My brother would use a dart gun that was laced with a strong sedative, one to the neck for each of them, and they were incapacitated within seconds. It was always clean and simple. One of us would take their car and ditch it in one of many spots we scouted previously, while the other transported them back to home base in the truck, and then come back to pick the other up. It was clockwork. We'd been in it for years. We grew up in it. It was all we knew. We were good at what we did. M and F had most of the local PD in their pockets, so we didn't really need to worry, but still had to be very cautious as not to draw attention. There's only so much leeway the police could give before having to actually do their job. So discretion was paramount. It was part of the agreement we had. There was good money in trafficking people, which we'd do on a rotation. One for the cult, one to sell. It kept us afloat for as long as I'd been alive. We had what looked to be tourists driving along the road, probably lost or some such. And so we went to work. We waited for them to stop and gaze at the kangaroo we had placed for them. And brother wasted no time. His accuracy was incredible. In the dark of night, and from quite a few meters away, he'd always managed to get them right on the neck, pinpoint accurate. They didn't even know it happened before they passed out. 1 minute they're inspecting a dead roo, and the next they'll be